You ever think your neighbor drama is bad? Imagine a woman so obsessed with community image that she snatches a disabled kid's feeding tube while you stand there helpless, furious, and absolutely stunned. That was the day I realized HOA horror stories aren't just clickbait. Sometimes, they walk right into your house with trash bags and a twisted smile. I'm Daniel Reed, and if you'd told me a year ago that I'd be fighting the fight of my life against a blonde tyrant named Brenda from the HOA, I would have laughed. I've presided over mob cases, corporate lawsuits, you name it. Nothing prepares you for the day someone targets your kid. Let's rewind to that morning. My wife Melissa was in the kitchen. Tyler was pretending to eat cereal, and my daughter Lily was coloring quietly, with her wheelchair parked near the window. Lily's got a rare condition. She needs a feeding tube to live. It's just part of our routine. Until Brenda stormed in. Suddenly, I hear Melissa yell, "What the hell are you doing?" I run into Lily's room and find Brenda hair perfectly sprayed, pearls shining, and flanked by two hired muscle loading my daughter's feeding supplies into trash bags. And Lily, the bravest kid I know, is crying so hard she's gasping for air. "Stop. You can't take those," I shout. Brenda holds up her little sheet of HOA rules. Smug as a cat at a fish market. These violate the appearance standards. Nothing medical. Nothing unsightly. It's for the community. Her voice so fake sweet. It'd rot your teeth. Melissa tries to snatch the bags back. One of the goons blocks her. Brenda just keeps bagging, making this big show of wiping her hands like she's doing the neighborhood a favor. Rules are rules. Maybe next time you'll read before signing. I wanted to lunch. Instead, I grabbed my phone and started filming. Brenda pauses, but she doesn't back down. "Go ahead, Daniel. The board will back me. We have lawyers. You know." She glances at Lily, who's shaking and begging to eat. Some families just aren't a good fit for Cedar Hollow. It was like a slap. Lily's sobbing. Melissa is screaming. Tyler's frozen at the door. The whole thing is a circus, and the ringmaster is this woman who decided our family didn't belong. They leave us with nothing. No supplies. No formula. Brenda drops one last gem on her way out. "Hope you kept your receipts." I call the cops. Officer Wilson shows up. Gives me a half-hearted sorry. "Sir, but it's civil, not criminal." I call the hospital. They can get us new supplies, but it'll cost $3,000 cash. Insurance? Huh. They'll take weeks. That night, I'm up Googling legal precedents. Fuming. I'm not just some guy, I am a federal judge. But in that moment, I felt smaller than I have in my entire life. And just when I think it can't get worse, my phone buzzes. It's a text, a photo of Lily's feeding tubes dumped in a dumpster. Captioned, "Neighborhood values restored." No signature, but I know exactly who sent it. Now, here's where you think the story is going, right? Judge Dad gets mad. Gets even. But I was about to get blindsided. While we're scrambling, Mrs. Gwen, the quiet widow 3 doors down, shows up at our house with a pan of brownies. She says, "I heard what happened. You're not alone." Turns out, Brenda's been running her own little dictatorship. Mrs. Gwen's ramp. Cited. The steward's flag. Fined. Even the roses, whose autistic son likes spinning in the yard, got written up for excessive movement. Suddenly, the whole neighborhood starts sharing horror stories. I realize we're not the outliers. Brenda's been gunning for anyone who doesn't fit her perfect mold. I start putting my courtroom skills to work. Emergency injunction filed. ADA violations cited. Prosecutor's office called. I type up a letter and drop it in every mailbox. I even attach photos of Lily's empty cabinet. "This is what your HOA dues are funding." I write. That's when the story catches fire. Local news. Then regional. People pick sides. Some neighbors rally. Medical needs aren't violations. Others defend Brenda, claiming property values like it's some sacred text. You can practically hear the gossip at every mailbox. 3 days later, the showdown happens in court. The judge-me friend Sarah leans forward and levels Brenda with a stare that could cut glass. "You stole life-saving equipment from a child," she says. "Return what you took. Pay for the damages. And you'll be lucky if you're not wearing orange." Brenda tries the victim act. "I was just following the bylaws." Sarah doesn't budge. Justice means knowing the difference between a rule and what's right. Brenda's face goes white. The gavel comes down. You'd think that was the end, right? But here comes the twist. Turns out, Brenda was never elected. The last HOA vote was a sham. With the scandal out, the board dissolves, and the real residents, led by Mrs. Gwen, take over. For the first time, our neighborhood feels like a community. People check on Lily. The playground adds a wheelchair swing. And that summer, the lawns are wilder. A little messier but happier. On our front window, Lily hangs a stained glass sun catcher shaped like a feeding tube. When the sun hits it, rainbows light up the whole house. Brenda moves out quietly. The new board tosses out half the old rules. And here's the kicker: the guy who bought Brenda's house, his daughter uses a feeding tube, too. Life's funny like that. So, what's justice, punishing the Brendas of the world, or building something better after they're gone? Would you have fought back, or just moved away? Tell me in the comments. And if you think this story says something about what's right and wrong in a neighborhood, share it. Because sometimes standing up isn't just about your family. It's about showing everyone what community really means.